Hi, I'm Rob Gressis. I'm a professor of philosophy at California State University Northridge, where we are right now. My job is to ask students difficult questions in order to improve their philosophical thinking. Today, the difficult questions I'm going to be asking, along with Learn Liberty, are about morality. Now, I have some predictions about this. I think every student is going to say it's wrong for an individual to use force to take another individual's money and give it to a charitable cause of their choice. However, I think they're all going to say it's okay for the government to do that very same thing. I'm going to ask them why. My prediction is that they're not really going to know why. So here's the first question. Are there any causes, political, charities, anything like that, that you agree with?
Like AIDS research and cancer research, I think that's good for the community.
PETA, I would
PETA.
donate some money to PETA.
Great.
I personally donate to my high school.
Well, I am in a sorority, so we have national philanthropies that all of our each separate organizations benefit, and ours is Reading is Fundamental.
I like Habitat for Humanity.
Okay,
I think it's a great cause, building homes for people.
Okay, great answer. So here's another simple question. Do you think it's morally okay for you to give your own money or time to Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah, I think it's a good cause, so I wouldn't see why not. Yes.
Yes, obviously so. I haven't had anybody disagree with me about that. So now here's another question. Is it moral to force others to give to the cause of your choice?
No.
No, okay. So we'll put it no. So would it be morally okay if you forced me to give my money or time to this cause?
Force is
Yeah.
a really harsh word.
So you said, let's say you say, do it or else I'll fine you.
No.
Okay, so I guess the answer is no. So would it be okay for you to say, stick a gun in my face and say, give money to the Red Cross or else
No.
I'll shoot you in the knee?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right, so that's one kind of force. How about just lightly beating me up?
No.
Okay. What about just the threat of force?
No.
Why is it not okay for you to force me to give my money to the homeless?
Out of respect to charity, you gotta respect people's wishes. Like if they want to donate to something, then they're gonna donate to something. If they don't want to donate to something, they don't have to.
I certainly believe that there's certain organizations that people should give to.
Yeah.
But then if somebody is given that same power,
Yeah.
then they can obviously use that against me and
Yeah.
make me donate money to something I clearly don't. I think is either bad or something that I wouldn't agree to.
Let's go to the next board here. So let me just reveal this. Bum, bum, bum. Is it moral for the government to force others to give to the cause of your choice? So let's say a cause you really believe in is women's heart health. Is it moral for the government to use the threat of force, police, IRS, that kind of thing, to force others to give some of their money to women's heart health?
No.
I feel like it's just like taxes. It's a civic duty. The fact that we all use roads, the fact that we all use schools and things like public services, and they're all funded by taxes, I think that it is morally okay to do so.
So is what makes it morally okay the fact that we all benefit from it?
Definitely, especially if my choice is education.
Yeah.
If more money is put into education, then we are producing far more successful students, which could then benefit us on an economic level.
But what if you just gave me the same argument earlier? What if you said, hey, I'm going to force you to give me your money to support my high school? After all, we all benefit from my high school.
Yeah.
So then you, Raul, tell me, Robert, you say, hey, Robert, give me some money, and if you don't, I'll fine you, take even more of your money, and if you don't pay that fine, then I'll lock you in my basement. And you say, hey, we all benefit from education, so it's okay.
I think this kind of goes back to the nature of like what a society or even a city is. Like one person cannot do all the jobs of everyone else. So we kind of have like this agreement, the social contract.
And you said no.
I say no. Yeah.
Why is that?
admittedly, I said yes at first.
Okay.
I wanted to say yes, but then after second thought, I realized that if I include myself as being part of the government, which I think most people would say that their choice matters in government, at least in the democratic process, then I didn't see how I could use force to make others give to any cause of my choosing.
Right.
Which would be the same
Same thing as over here, right, where you said no.
So it was, even though intuitively I wanted to say yes, given what we understand government is.
Yeah.
I just couldn't say yes. I just followed my logic there and brought it over here.
So it's okay for the government to use force to make people donate to something everybody needs. Is it okay for you to use force to get somebody to donate money to something everybody needs? So could you like beat me up, take my money, and then give it to the police and say, I'm using this money to support you because you
I
protect
couldn't do
everybody.
that now. I don't
So-
have the moral.
So how come it's okay for the government to do it but not you?
Maybe they're a lot stronger than I am.
Why isn't it okay for me to force you to give money to the police to help that community?
Well,
Why is it only okay for the government?
I do see the immediate conflict.
Right. I mean, here's one thing I might want to say. It's okay for the government to use force when it's okay for you to use force. But when it's not okay for you to use force, maybe it's also not okay for the government to use force.
I feel like this is kind of like a contract with like this country. I mean, it's just kind of like how they've built their system. I mean, while
Right.
others might not do that, I think because of that, yes, it is fair.
Was this contract something that like you and I signed or anything, or?
No, I mean, I was born here, so
Right.
I mean, I
But
was
did you have
just
any
kinda-
choice about that?
No.
You can't not agree to it, right? If you don't vote, you still have to do it. If you vote
Yeah.
for the person who loses, you still have to do it. So, is it really an agreement if there's no way to opt out of the agreement?
I think it does undermine the agreement.
So, is it okay for the government ever to use force to get people to give money, like taxes or anything like that?
Well, I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think so.
doesn't that make you like an anarchist or something?
I mean, everyone's gonna want to do what they want to do. They all have their own opinions,
Right.
but the government just kind of goes with like the majority of like everyone, you know.
Yeah.
So it kind of just depends, I guess.
So, is it okay for the government to force a minority of people to give to a cause the majority likes? So, let's say the majority wants to go to war against Iraq or something like that. Is it okay for the government to say, okay, you have to spend tax dollars to support the military so we can do that?
These are hard questions.
I know. I just try to make people think.
It's good. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of how society is now, and like people are just like prone and like used to how it works. So I guess.
So it's okay
I don't
because
know.
they're used to it? Like, should they say, you know what, we're sick of this, we're gonna stop?
Yeah, I think
You think
so.
they should?
Yeah.
All right, maybe you are an anarchist. You don't look like an
Maybe.
anarchist, but yeah, maybe you are.
Maybe.
I think yes, because it's our system. It's the way things work. If we didn't have that going on, who knows how we would get money toward the military, how we would get money toward education. So I think we need something in place to make those things happen.
What if it could get done without taxes? Then would it be wrong for them to do it? Like, what if we could have a society where people voluntarily donate money to the military or the
Then they
police?
would have no reason to tax us and things like that. So, I
So
mean,
it-
but
so
would
it'd
it be okay?
Yeah, would it be wrong to? They might not have a reason, but they
It'd
might
be
still do
wrong.
it.
I don't think it'd be wrong. Like,
Why not?
it's because it's not a horrible pressing thing you're asking people to do.
So what if I said to you, give me $50 or else I'll lock you in my basement? Now, $50 isn't that harmful, so is it
Right.
okay for me to do that?
No,
So why is it okay for the government to take $50 but not me?
because the consequences aren't that.
Okay.
You
Well,
know
no,
what
they
I mean?
are, right? You'll
I
go to
guess
jail if you don't
jail.
pay your taxes. It's not my basement, but it's
Yeah,
not
but it's
necessarily better.
jail.
I mean, but my
yeah.
basement's pretty cool. Like, it's got like, games and everything. So is it okay then for the government to put you in jail if you don't pay taxes, but it's not okay for me to put you in basement jail?
Well, if you put it like that, it's not okay for anyone to do it.
Right, but yeah, I think most people think it's okay for the government to do it, but not okay for an individual.
Yeah, like
or
I
a mob
said, you
to
have
do it.
this, because the government has this like prestigious like look on them, and they
Yeah.
have the badge and the,
Right.
so
They got that
everyone's
authority.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
no one's like, some people are like, screw that, like no taxes, they can't
Yeah.
make us do it. But
Yeah.
then other people are just like, this is the way it's been. Just got to keep the system flowing. So
Yeah, so it's almost like this is just what we all tell ourselves.
yeah,
What I think is best for the nation may not be best for the nation. And so if the majority of the nation feels one way and they vote someone in who feels who is looking out for what most people believe is in their best interest, then I'm all for going with that person.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say you're hanging out
Okay.
with 4 other friends,
Right.
and you go to a restaurant,
Okay.
and you get a check. So the 5 of you have a $200 check.
Okay.
And then the 4 friends get together and they say, you know what, we all want Chris to pay for the whole thing. It's
Right.
in our best interest if we don't pay it all and if Chris pays everything.
Right.
Would that make it okay?
No.
Why not? They voted. There was a majority
Right,
of them.
but I didn't vote for them to make that decision for me.
Okay, so what if you don't vote for the candidate
Right.
who goes to war and you still have to give your taxes?
If my friends were elected
Yeah.
by a different body, like say we're a part of like a group
Mhm.
in whole, and just our friends went out to dinner, but
Yeah.
this whole group that we're a part of
Yeah.
voted them to make decisions for me, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna let them make decisions for me. But if we're just a group of people that no one like allotted them to do anything,
Yeah.
then I'm not gonna let them
Okay.
make me pay for anything.
So what if you knew that your friends were out to get you, And so you're
Right.
trying to tell people, don't vote for these guys,
Right.
But they still voted for your friends to hold the office of restaurant decider.
Okay.
And then they made you go to a restaurant that you hated, and they made you pay 3 times what everybody
No one's
else
gonna make me
pays.
do anything.
The government can, though.
Right, but
And you think it's okay when the government does it, right?
right, because I trust our government.
And what would happen if it fell apart? Bad stuff?
Government, yeah, bad stuff.
Okay.
Government wouldn't be able to do what it's supposed to do, which
So-
is force us
Force us to do,
to do certain things.
Yeah, that we need to do, or else
Right.
we'll maybe collapse.
Right.
But even if that's right, even if it's true that that there are only certain that there are certain things the government does, and if it doesn't do them, we collapse. Most of what the government does isn't that, is it?
Right. It would only be a certain number of things.
Right. So that would only at
collapse.
best justify a very small government.
Yeah.
So this collapse argument, it seems like it's your big thing.
Yeah.
And if you could be shown that there's a society that could work pretty well, or as well, or even better than our current society, and it had no taxes, right? Everything happened voluntarily.
Yeah.
Then you'd be on board with that.
Absolutely.
Do you think most people ever even think of this question?
No, I don't think so. I think we just blow right by it, and if more people stopped by and saw only this question, I think the tax would be filled.
Yeah, maybe it'd all be yeses.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you do this question first and this one, things change.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
is an interesting lesson about the power of philosophy.
Yes.
So I think we're going to leave it there. So what have we learned today? It seems to me that we've learned a couple things. First of all, people value self-ownership. They value the fact that they have control over their own lives. They think it's okay for them to do with their bodies and their property what they want, but that it's not okay for other people to do to them what those other people want. That makes sense. This is how most people live. This is how most people want to live. But all of a sudden, when you bring up the government, things start to change. As you'll see, a fair number of people thought it was okay for the government to invade your self-ownership in order to further causes it wants to do. But why is this? Why do people think things change when the government gets involved? Does it have to do with philanthropy? Does it have to do with large numbers? Does it have to do with the fact that people claim that they've agreed to it in some way? And then why do they think agreements are these funny things that change when it comes to the government? This brings up a fundamental question about the proper role of government. What is the government allowed to do? And a very natural answer is that people own themselves and they own their property, and the government is not allowed to do things to those people that they don't let others do. However, when people are actually asked about this, what is the government allowed to do, their answers change. They think, oh, the government is allowed to tell me what I'm supposed to do with my property, with my body, with these sorts of things. Why is that? What gives the government the right to do that? Is it the fact that there's lots of people in it? Is it the fact that it's going to have some allegedly beneficial effects? Is it the fact that we have all agreed to it, whatever that means? It's not entirely clear based on talking to the students if there is any general thing that most people mean that allows them to think that the government has this right. At the end of the day, I think people aren't really sure why they give this answer, but they do give this answer, and I think one of the things we should try to figure out is why people are thinking the way they do. In fact, what do you think?